Hi guys, today we're going to talk about 3.2 adding and subtracting linear expressions. Our I can statement: I can apply properties of operations to add and subtract linear expressions. A linear expression is an algebraic expression in which the exponent of the variable is 1. So keep in mind, as we head into other chapters and as you get into higher levels of math, you will have variables that have exponents with a number that is greater than 1. So let's look at our linear expression. So linear expression could be something like negative 4x. We have 3x plus 5, or 5 minus 1/6 x. Nonlinear expressions are going to be any expression that has a variable that has an exponent with that is greater than 1. So we have x squared. We have negative 7x squared plus x, or x to the 5th power plus 1. Now, as we go on to example 1, we are going to be able to use two different methods. So we can either use a horizontal or a vertical method to line up our expressions and add them together. So let's look at number 1. It says x minus 2 plus 3x plus 8. So we're going to take our two expressions and we are going to line them up vertically. Let's do that one first. So I have x minus 2. I'm going to put a little plus sign over here because I'm adding those two integers. That's representing this. And I'm going to line up my 3x right below it plus 8. So just like we did in chapter 1 and in chapter 2, anytime I see that subtraction sign, I'm going to do a keep, change, or add the opposite. So now I'm going to be able to add just vertically. So I have negative 2 plus 8 is going to be a positive 6. I bring down because both answers are positive above it, and I have x plus 3x, so I have 4x. So my answer is 4x plus 6. Now, if we want to just set this up horizontally, we had x minus 2. This is another set. X minus 2 plus 3x plus 8. I want to look at my common terms, my like terms. So I have x and 3x that are similar. So because both of them are positive and I'm adding again, I have 4x. Again, we want to do our keep, change. Okay, so now I have a negative 2 and a positive 8. And again, I'm adding the 2. So negative 2 plus a positive 8 would give me a positive 6. So we would add 6. So either way that you do this, you can choose how you want to, what's easiest for you. Let's look at question B, or example B. We have negative 4y plus 3. I'm going to take this plus sign and put it over here to the left so it's a little bit out of the way. I'm going to line up my 11y under my y's minus 5. Again, I'm going to do my keep, change. Anywhere I see that subtraction sign. So now I look here and I'm adding a positive 3 and a negative 5. So 3 plus negative 5 is going to give me a negative 2. I'm going to bring down a plus sign because that's what's here in the middle. And then I have a negative 4 plus 11y. That would give me 7y. Now, if we wanted to just use our like terms, if we have them lined up horizontally, I would just take my negative 4 and my positive 11, and I could subtract them because they are different signs. So I would get 7y. I would do my keep, change. So I would get 3 plus a negative 5, which would mean I'd have plus a negative 2. And remember, if we are adding a negative, that is the same thing as subtracting. So either one of these answers would be correct. All right, let's look at example 2. Now we have a number in front of our expression. So before we can do anything else, we need to distribute that 2 from the front to everything else inside the parentheses. So I need to do 2 times 7.5z. 2 times negative 7.5z is negative 15z. We cannot forget that variable. And then we add the 2 times the 3. So I would have plus, because it's a positive sign in there. So plus 6. So that is my first expression. I'm going to just rewrite what I have up here above. So bring this down. So I have 5z minus 2. Now I can go through and either use my vertical and line them up, or I can use my horizontal method. Here I have a subtraction sign, so I'm going to do keep, change, change. I have negative 15 and positive 5. That is going to give me a negative 10z plus 4. Because if I have positive 6 and negative 2, then it's going to give me negative 10z plus 4. Okay, go ahead and pause the video. The next 4 questions are try on your own. All right, keep in mind that we are now going to be subtracting, and subtracting one linear expression from another, we have to add the opposite of each term in that expression. So you can again use a vertical or horizontal method. Okay, let's take a look at what we have here first. So example 3, we have 5x plus 6 minus a negative x plus 6. So using what it says above, let me pull this back into view. So using what it says above, we have 5x plus 6. And it says minus. I'm going to line up my x's again. Here. So it says add the opposite of each term in the expression. So right now I'm subtracting. I'm going to add the opposite of each one. So I'm going to change that. So I have my subtraction sign. I'm going to add, make an addition sign. And the opposite of negative x is positive x. And the opposite of positive 6 is negative 6. So now I can just add this straight through. So I have a positive 6 plus a negative 6. So that would equal 0. I have a positive 5x plus a positive x, which would give me 6x. So my answer, it does say 6x plus 0. However, we do not need to include the plus 0. So my final answer would just be 6x. Okay, let's take a look at B. This can be a different method. I'm going to show you a different method you can use to answer B. So I'm going to, just like we've done in the past, use my keep, change, change to change my subtraction signs first. So I'm going to change this subtraction sign right here, right by the 2, into add a negative. That should be a negative. And then I'm going to do the same thing for everything inside the parentheses. So now I have to distribute like we did in our last question in example 2. So I am going to distribute this negative 2 to the 4y and to the negative 3. So my first expression, 7y plus 5, stays the same. Then I'm going to add. I have negative 2 times 4y is negative 8y. Plus, I have negative 2 times negative 3, which would be a positive 6. So if you want to use the horizontal method, you can line things, or you can keep it this way. If you want to use the vertical method, you can line them up. Right now I see a positive 6 and a positive 5, so I'm going to have 11. I have a negative 8 and a positive 7, which means I'm going to have a negative 1y plus 11. Now remember, you don't have to include that negative 1 on there. You do have to include the negative sign, but it could look like negative y plus 11. All right. Let's take a look at this next example. The original price of a cowboy hat is $D. You use a coupon and buy the hat for D minus $2. You decorate the hat and sell it for D or 2D minus $4. Write an expression that represents your earnings from buying and selling the hat. Okay. So if we are buying the hat, actually, let's go ahead and pause for just a second.